The night was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional whisper of wind through barren branches. On a desolate stretch of road, where civilization seemed to have long forgotten its existence, stood an ancient tree. Its gnarled limbs reached out like skeletal fingers, casting twisted shadows in the pale moonlight. Little did unsuspecting travelers know that this tree harbored a sinister secret. Within its twisted bark resided the soul of a witch, a malevolent entity that had haunted these parts for centuries. Her spirit, bound to the tree by dark magic, yearned for the warmth of human flesh and the thrill of mortal terror. As if drawn by an unseen force, vehicles passing through this forsaken stretch would inexplicably break down. Engines sputtered and died, leaving their occupants stranded in a realm where reality blurred with nightmare. The witch, ever patient, waited for her prey to stumble into her web of deceit. But this was no ordinary witch. Her form was a grotesque mockery of the human figure, with legs that faced backward. A disturbing sight that sent shivers down the spines of those unfortunate enough to glimpse her true form. Yet, she was a master of disguise, a shapeshifter capable of assuming any appearance that would lure her victims closer. On this particular night, a young couple found themselves at the mercy of the witch's domain. Their car, once reliable, now sat lifeless on the side of the road. As they debated their next move, a figure emerged from the shadows, an elderly woman, her face kind and weathered, offering assistance with a gentle smile. "Oh, you poor dears," she cooed, her voice as smooth as honey. "It's not safe out here at night. Why don't you come with me? I have a phone at my cottage just down the road." Relief washed over the couple, grateful for this stroke of luck in their misfortune. They followed the old woman, unaware of the malicious gleam in her eyes as she led them deeper into the witch's trap. The cottage materialized before them, a quaint structure that seemed to shimmer in and out of existence. As they stepped inside, the world around them began to shift and warp. The walls pulsed with an otherworldly energy, and the air grew thick with the stench of decay. Panic set in as the couple realized their dire mistake. The kind old woman was gone, replaced by a towering figure with backwards-facing legs and a face contorted in wicked glee. The witch cackled, her laughter echoing through the twisted reality she had created. "Welcome, my pretties," she hissed, her voice now a raspy growl. "Your journey ends here, but your torment has only just begun." The couple fled, their hearts pounding in their chests as they raced through a landscape that defied logic. Trees reached out with grasping branches. The ground beneath their feet turned to quicksand, and the very air seemed to fight against their escape. But the witch was always one step ahead, her backwards legs allowing her to move with unnatural speed and agility. She toyed with her prey, appearing as different figures, a lost child, a wounded animal, even loved ones long since passed, each form designed to manipulate and terrify. As dawn approached, the couple found themselves back at the ancient tree, exhausted and on the brink of madness. The witch's laughter surrounded them, coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. They clung to each other, praying for salvation that seemed impossibly out of reach. Just as all hope seemed lost, the first rays of sunlight pierced through the darkness. The witch's power waned, her illusions fading like mist in the morning light. She retreated to her arboreal prison, her backwards legs carrying her in a grotesque dance back to the gnarled trunk. The couple, battered and shaken, stumbled back to their car, which now miraculously roared to life. As they sped away from that cursed place, they knew they would never speak of the horrors they had witnessed. For who would believe such a tale of a backwards-legged witch and her soul-trapping tree? But the witch remained, patient and eternal. She knew that night would fall again, and with it would come new travelers, new souls to torment. And so she waited, her backwards legs coiled beneath her, ready to chase down the next unfortunate souls who dared to trespass on her lonely, haunted road. In the years that followed, whispers of the witch spread through nearby towns. Some dismissed the tales as urban legends, while others swore they had encountered her themselves. But all agreed on one thing: that stretch of road was best avoided, especially after dark. Those who did venture there often reported strange occurrences. Watches that spun backward, compasses that pointed in impossible directions, and an overwhelming sense of being watched by unseen eyes. Some claim to have seen figures with backwards legs darting between the trees, always just at the edge of vision. Local authorities attempted to investigate, but their efforts were thwarted by inexplicable equipment failures and sudden bouts of disorientation. Even the bravest officers refused to patrol the area alone, citing an oppressive atmosphere that left them feeling drained and paranoid. As the legend grew, so too did the witch's power. She fed on the fear and belief of those who spoke her name in hushed tones, her influence spreading like a dark stain across the countryside. The tree that housed her soul grew larger and more twisted, its branches reaching out farther with each passing year. Occasionally, a group of thrill-seekers or paranormal investigators would venture into the witch's domain, armed with cameras and determination. Few returned, and those who did were changed forever, their eyes haunted by visions they could never fully articulate. One such investigator, driven to the brink of insanity by his encounter, spent his remaining days trying to warn others of the danger. He spoke of a reality where time and space bent to the witch's will, where nightmares took physical form, and where the line between life and death blurred into meaninglessness. "She shows you what you want to see," he would ramble to anyone who would listen. But it's all a lie. A beautiful, terrible lie that consumes you from the inside out. As the years turned to decades, the witch's legend became intertwined with the very fabric of the region. Children dared each other to spend a night on the haunted road, while adults used the tale to keep youngsters in line. "Be good," they would say, "or the backwards-legged witch will come for you." But for those who knew the truth, who had faced the witch's terror firsthand, no warning could ever be strong enough. They carried the weight of their experiences like a heavy chain, forever looking over their shoulders, forever haunted by the memory of backwards legs and a tree that pulsed with malevolent life. And still, the witch waited, her patience as endless as the lonely road that stretched before her domain. For she knew that as long as there were lost souls in the world, as long as there were those who strayed from the safety of the known, she would never truly be alone. In the depths of night, when the moon hangs low and the shadows grow long, listen closely. You might hear the whisper of backwards footsteps, the creaking of an ancient tree, and the faint, distant laughter of a witch who knows that sooner or later, all roads lead to her.